Amazing little boy. Now, for people living near some of London's parks, it might seem like they're getting busier, and research out today says access to the parks has actually been restricted more and more by corporate events like music festivals. Well, it's a way for councils to raise cash, but as Toby Sadler found out, critics say it's creeping privatisation of public space and something we should all be worried about.
London's parks have been partying hard this summer. Remember when football was coming home? World Cup aside, festivals have been taking over the capital's parks for months. Music to the ears of hundreds of thousands of people, a breach of the peace for many others. The campaign group, the Friends of Finsbury Park, has certainly lost its party spirit. It's calling for the Wireless Festival to find a new home.
A third of the park gets fenced off, right to the left here, all of this bit here in the middle, then all the way from here, all the way up there, probably not quite as far as the eye can see, but certainly far enough.
The campaigners are particularly angry because they say that the money raised by the festivals isn't then put back into the parks to improve things. And certainly you can see here, 2 months on from Wireless, there's a huge amount of damage. The grass is nowhere near growing back. Also, if you look at the ground, there's a lot of broken glass and beer bottle tops pushed into the mud. And the campaigners tell me that's all left over from the Wireless Festival back in July.
The council say they get lots of money from these events, and we know from the accounts that they get lots of money, but there's little evidence of it being spent on the park. And as you can see, the park is looking in a particularly bad way, and people might say, where's some of that money going in terms of clearing up the litter and repairing the damage from these events?
Those grievances are backed by some new research from the University of Westminster. Dr. Andrew Smith spent 2 years looking at the impact of festivals on Finsbury Park, Gunnersbury Park and Brockwell Park. His study concludes councils are cashing in on events to combat austerity cuts.
So I think there are now maybe over a dozen multi-day festivals staged in London's parks. There are some parks which are programmed for almost sort of 2 or 3 months of the year. So we're not just talking about a few weekends, we're talking about several months of disruption.
Haringey Council owns Finsbury Park. It says events bring in vital funds that boost the parks all year round, but says it is committed to working with residents to better understand the issues they have. Meanwhile, the dates are already in the diary for the Wireless Festival 2019. Toby Sadler, ITV News.